Welcome to the Love Deep Lab podcast, helping you integrate sex, sexiness, sacredness, and science in your life and your bedroom. And now, your host, Dr. Stormy.
Hi, welcome to the Love Deep Lab podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Stormy. So today we're going to talk about sexiness. And it is spring. We are all feeling spring. And spring in the season of personal development is about rebirth, transformation, blossoming after the inwardness and introspection that often comes with winter, the hibernation winter, right? So let's talk about sexy spring. So first, let's talk about sexiness, right? Sexy has a very myopic definition for most people, in that it means the ability to awake and arouse, incite desire. Well, that's sexual sexiness, right? That's erotic sexiness. Let's broaden our definition of sexiness, because when we broaden our definition of sexiness, then we can tap more into the erotic sexiness, right? So I love the definition of sexy. This is my own personal definition, but it's really owning yourself in all of your fullness. So that means your flaws, your imperfections, and your perfections, right? Owning yourself in fullness, unabashedly, with a deeply rooted self-confidence and a deep connection to yourself and to your body, as well as a connection to your sexual nature, to your sexual power, to the fact that we are all sexual beings. So that really deeply rooted sense. And here's the thing, sexiness is for you. We have to feel sexy ourselves before we can share our sexiness with another, before we can, it's really common to want to be externally validated, right? That just makes us normal. That makes us human. But sexiness is an inner process, is an inner practice. And when you feel connected to your sexiness, then others will reflect it and see it and reflect it back to you. That's just how it works, right? So really self as the beloved. You've heard me say this in many different times on different podcasts and different TikTok videos and Instagram videos about self as the beloved. So loving yourself first and foremost, and then being able to share yourself from that fullness with an external beloved if you choose to do so. So that's the definition of sexiness we're going to work with today. So it's true sexiness is for you. Okay, so this is a practice. The other thing I want to say about sexiness is that it's not a static point. We don't like, ta-da, we arrive at being sexy. And so this podcast today is for men out there, women out there, non-binary persons out there. It's about feeling into your sexiness this spring and beyond. So we're going to talk about 7 ways, practical ways that you can begin to tap into, grow, and feel more sexy. Because here's the thing, you are all out there listening, watching, are sexy, amazing, powerful, sexual beings. So let's start to own that consciously and fully and wholly, not just like the sparkly, rainbows, sparkles, rainbow, cupcakes part. Let's own all of it. It is in owning our fullness that we become the most powerful and the most sexy. So the first tip is to reconnect to your body, right? As we come on these pandemic times, and just, it's such a tired story, but we've been so isolated that we have lost connection to our bodies, many of us, myself included. And it's been this practice for me of reconnecting deeply to my body. So what do I mean when I say reconnect to your body? Well, that means different things, right? Embodiment means to be in your body. Embodiment is a really kind of buzzword right now, but what does that mean? So ways to connect to your body is to move your body. So what that means, it might mean exercise for you. It might mean going to the gym, taking a yoga class. It might mean dance. It might mean sensual movement. It might mean going for a walk, going for a hike, whatever it means to you, moving your body. We connect more deeply to our body when we are in movement, and we get the benefit of endorphins, which helps us all to feel more sexy. Okay, so moving your body. Another practice I recommend in the realm of reconnecting to your body is a mirror practice. And it was mentioned in a podcast we had recently, so you can check that out for deeper insight into mirror practices. But I love mirror practice. So stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself. Maybe you're clothed, maybe you're not clothed, right? A more advanced practice to do a mirror practice naked. But really allowing yourself to look at yourself, to see yourself. And another thing that's beautiful in this is I recommend Candlelight, right? So candles are a really beautiful way. They have a sensual, sexy feeling to them as well. Plus, Candlelight is very flattering for all of us. We look and feel more beautiful, more sexy, more powerful, more hot in Candlelight. So try a mirror practice. Try it with Candlelight. Try it without. But moving your body, looking at yourself in the mirror. And here's the thing, I invite you to do so with grace and with compassion for yourself. This is for men, women, non-binary persons, for everyone. Mirror practices are so powerful as a way to reconnect with your body. Okay, and notice your inner critic. Notice if you're in criticism, in judgment of yourself, and you probably will be, or notice yourself falling into that. And then just coming back to noticing, to appreciating, to seeing your body, to seeing yourself. So mirror practice is an awesome tool. I always recommend mirror practice with my clients and myself for sure. The other one is power pose, right? Some call it Wonder Woman pose, power pose, Superman's pose, but standing with straight, good posture, engaging your core, standing in a way that feels powerful. There's really cool research about how that works in our brain to have us feel sexy, to feel powerful, right? When we feel sexy, we feel powerful. We feel connected to our inner power. So a power pose, it sounds silly, but stand in a way that makes you feel powerful. And again, you can also do this in front of the mirror. It's a great practice as well. I mentioned dance. And then the other one that I want to say under reconnecting to your body is self-pleasure. Okay. I would be remiss to talk about sexiness if I did not talk about self-pleasure. So self-pleasure might look like just touching your body. It might look like putting on lotion in a really luxurious way, standing under the hot shower and lathering yourself up really good instead of rushing through your shower where you don't even notice, did you wash your hair first or your body first? Really savoring, luxuriating. It also might look like masturbation, so self-pleasuring, but without the goal of orgasm, really luxuriating in bringing yourself pleasure. Talk about a way to feel sexy. Do that, try that, and listening gently to your body. Don't pushing into no. If you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. Just relax the pressure of orgasm or ejaculation and just do it for the sense of bringing yourself pleasure. The second tip is wear something that you feel gorgeous, hot, beautiful, sexy in on a normal day. We say these things for like the dress ups or the events or the dates or whatever. Do it on a normal day, because what we wear, what we adorn our body with helps us to feel sexy, right? And that's a different, your power outfit, what your sexy outfit will be different for every man, woman, and persons out there. So what makes you feel sexy, powerful, beautiful, gorgeous, hot, all those things, and wear that on a normal day. Super simple, easy tip. The third tip is kind of back to the mirror practice, listening to your inner critic, challenging that negative thinking, re-scripting how we talk to ourselves. One of the main reasons we don't feel sexy is we are often so self-critical. There's so much self-judgment, self-shaming out there. You know, I've been there. I do it myself. I still catch myself in it, but I catch myself a lot more quickly. Michael Singer from Untethered Soul talks about listening to our inner roommate and paying attention to how our inner roommate talks to us. We wouldn't tolerate that being talked to that way by most people, and not by a roommate or certainly not by a friend. And yet we do that to ourselves all the time. So challenging your negative thinking, challenging that inner critic, re-scripting. So instead, let's say in the mirror practice, you notice like, I don't like my nose or something. It's like, wow, instead noticing all the amazing things that your nose does for you, noticing how your nose is distinct for you, right? And this is easier said than done, but challenging that negative thinking is really key to building and growing your sense of sexiness. Fourth tip is do something new. Okay, this can be for you. This can be for you in your partnership, if you're in partnership. If you're not, doing something new, that novelty that brings us into feeling sexy and alive, feeling powerful. We do the same old, same old. They say that 80 to 85% of our thinking is habitual. So you're starting to break that habit. Do something new. It can be something big. It can be something small, something in between. Do something new to help you feel empowered and sexy and confident. The fifth tip is to treat yourself, right? Stop waiting for someone else to treat you. Treat yourself. And again, this could be big, small, depends on your finances and your situation, but everyone can treat themselves. Self-care is not a luxury, it is absolutely a necessity, and is a really big part of feeling like the sexy, powerful being that you are. So treat yourself to something and really enjoy it. The sixth tip is try to reduce your stress. I know, easier said than done. Trust me, I know. But Stress is a pleasure buster. We do not feel sexy when we are stressed out, right? We're in hypervigilance, we're in different parts of our brain, and we don't feel into sensuality and pleasure. We don't feel sexy and powerful. So what you can do to minimize your stress, the strategies you have to minimize your stress, things like getting enough sleep, making decisions, saying no, if honoring your boundaries, better self-care, all of these things that we can do to minimize stress, that will help you to feel more sexy and powerful. And the final tip is mindfulness. When we can pause and feel into things like gratitude and breath and presence and stillness, when we slow down, you will start to feel more connected to your body, more connected to your power, more connected to your pleasure and your sexual energy, and you will be and emit and exude a different sort of sexiness. A more grounded sexiness, or more robust sexiness, a deeper rooted sexiness. And again, if you have 40 people in a room, you have 40 different definitions of sexy. Thank goodness. And I love that, because it is really about what makes you feel sexy, and really that inner sense of sexiness, which will then exude outward in how you move through the world, how you make love, how you parent, how you are as a friend, all of the roles as a worker, all the roles that you might have. So these are just some simple ways this spring, right now, today, invite you to practice them. Your sexy homework is to practice leaning into and rocking your sexiness, because you are a sexy, amazing, sensual being. And the more we can practice these things, the more we welcome in these things, the more rooted we are in our confidence, the more unshakable our confidence is. And that is sexy. And then the last little kind of bonus homework I'm going to leave you with just popped in my head, but vulnerability, leaning into your vulnerability, sharing with those that you trust, those that are in your inner circle. What are your struggles with this? Where do you struggle with it? Being vulnerable. Vulnerable is sexy AF, and vulnerable is powerful. So leaning into your vulnerability with those that are in your trusted circle, your inner circle. So thank you for tuning in and joining me today. Thank you for being brave and opening your hearts to love deep.